Hi viewers, and welcome to July 2014 Earth Predictions reading. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you sit back and enjoy what I have to say. So the first card that arrived for July is the Birth card. Now this card was present in June's reading, and as I said last month, when these cards repeat themselves sequentially month after month, they seem to want to say that their messages are even more intense. So what I said last month in June about this card is in the background we see the skies and what appears to be heavy, watery, sodden skies. So lots of intense rain, really heavy rain, storms that have originated out at sea and come onto land and create havoc. And as well crops that may be damaged, because this often reminds me of fields that have been planted. The other thing that this card brings to mind is earth rising, so earth movement. You can see that ground looks like it's completely going up, and that also indicates volcanic activity. And I know in June we had a really big eruption that up in the Philippine area that stopped air traffic. So I think July we'll see a repeat of those type of energies, very similar again around the planet. I keep saying it and I'm not going to stop saying it. This is about climate change and how our planet is changing. We will consistently see more and more extreme weather patterns affecting our entire populace on the planet. Okay, so the next card that arrived, again this card was here last month, and it's the Friendship card. And I talk about sporting events with this quite often. I'm not sure why, but I do. It's something to do with, up here, drug-related issues around sporting events. But we've just gone through in June and coming up for July two really big sporting events. First was the World Cup soccer that was held in Brazil, and next month in July is the Commonwealth Games, which for those of us in the Commonwealth is a huge issue. So lots of big celebrations and happiness and getting together and friendships around the sporting arena. So that energy is repeating again. Parades and happiness and rah-rah. As well, we're still seeing communication. So we're still seeing governments and countries trying to perhaps talk through situations that are creating dis-ease within their walls, but it's not all over and it's not all rosy, because right here on the corner in this card is a hidden person entering the scene. So even though you think your communications are going well, they're not quite where they should be. There is still disruption coming. The next card that arrived is the Wheel card. Now, I haven't had the Wheel card turn up for such a long time that I've lost some of the meanings of its energies. I sort of don't really write these down. They're all just kept within my psyche, if you like. So I have to go back and think, what does the wheel actually look like? We can think, you definitely see water, and you see water being moved, and quite quickly in that card. So you get the feeling of moving water, rivers, and things swelling up and over, almost that inland tsunami type feel where you get strong surges of rushing water, because that's what the water wheel is there. Also, I think of the wheel as being the cycle of life, so there's something in here intrinsically about messages of the cycle of life, which can be spiritually related. The other thing about this card, I look at the wheel and I think of galactic alignments. So again, we go back up and out to the stars, and I think of planet alignments, things that we're observing in the skies through telescopes, or messages that come to us about astrology or astronomy, space, energies to do with that will be quite powerful in July. The next card that arrived, the Home card, which was again in June, and it was in May. So this is 3 months in a row that a card has turned up, and I think this is the first time I've ever seen a card repeat 3 times in a row. We talk about houses, and we talk about potentiality of fires and animals, and I often say it means a bit of shaking. And the other thing I refer to are issues to do with my part of the planet, which is around New Zealand. So that can be quake related issues, weather related issues, issues to do with events that occur in New Zealand that become quite big events one way or another. We've had some really nasty murders here, interestingly enough, in the last month. Quite sad events that have occurred. And it can also be connected with our close neighbours, which are Australia and our South Pacific islands around us. So there can be events around all of those areas and along those lines. Also volcanic issues possibly. The next card was the cave. I'm quite pleased the cave hasn't tied up with its old buddies. When these two particular cards arrive with the cave, I think it's the libido and the union card, that's when this big sandy storm occurred on the east coast of America. So I'm quite pleased the cave hasn't married up with that this time around. But what the cave often indicates is that hunkering down feeling. So that can mean when you are literally trapped in your house, or you've had to go into hiding to get away from either massive storms, and you can see that person in the foreground there just grabbing onto themselves as if they're going, oh God, go away, I can't bear what's going on out there, I'm just protecting myself, my bare self. So it can be the hunkering down, being trapped into something, underground issues, hidden agenda issues. That's the feeling I get with the cave. So there you are, guys, that's the reading for July. I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for following me. I appreciate the fact that you all do, and your comments and your time. So be safe, have an enjoyable July, take care, much aroha, kia kaha.